The strife betwixt Jones Artemis and San Fiento. It was quaffed by Artemis verily, that the region of her conception was not of this earth, but rather that the provenance is to her but unknown, save that world is a tautology to her own, hallowed of Speedwagon. So when Artemis came to this world but with spontaneity, her issue forth from the Empyrean was perceived by some number, among whom are the spirit of Speedwagon thy lord, who at that time was chiefly called Imperius, and Sant Viento, spawn of the handiwork of Santana. Now, numbered amongst the men of the pillar, only Santana was of a psionic propensity, and was thusly shunned by his masters, who disregard their puissance, that of the physical. For their physiognomy was transcended beyond man's, even those of vampires, who are their servants. Thus verily the Sant Viento costeth Artemis, for it to perceive her might psionic, designed to supplant her. For he feared that Speedwagon would raise her into his service, thus bruising the brows of his masters. Sant Viento did come unto Artemis even as she was unrayed, and this he quoth, Thou foreigner, thou comest into the dominion of the night, for night doth rule. Lord perceiveth thee mighty, thy power will be but mute, if thou wouldst secure us unto these people who dwelleth here, feeble and feeting men. But if thou would comest into the audience of my masters, for thou art far mightier than I, and sue for mercy, thou shalt become as unto a mistress of the night, for there art now none that art fit to bear that honour. But Artemis, even as she knew not the lie of the world, did see the light of Speedwagon, veiled though it was by the devices of the enemy, and great faith did come to her mind, even as she was bare against the enemy. This she did rebut. Thou lie, fiend! Thou devisest artifice and perfidy. Thou knowest of the might of man, and he is one. For even now I see him. Thou fear him, and thus use but only guile and deceit, for thou mayest create but naught. For thou art the void, and the true lord of this world is not among thy masters, the scions of night, thou quavering children. But he the king is the sun, and dawn shall come to steal every night, and then thou shalt be the one denuded. And even at that time when the night was dark as the light did break from the horizon, and Sant Viento did flee, howling, and rending the earth. And as the splendor of the sun did rise, Speedwagon thy lord rose with it, for the sun was his halo. This he spake unto Artemis Jones, My daughter, thy faith has moved me, for thou declarest for me even ere thou knowest my name. Thy spirit is good, woman, for thy bosom is pure, and thy brow of clarity. I am that he who is, for thou did prayest for the sun, and the sun is now before thee. The investiture of Jones Artemis. At this Artemis did drop to her knees, and did attempteth to shield her faith from his glory. For his intensity was exceeding, and bowing her head, she saw that she was no longer nude. But again Speedwagon quoth, Wear thy righteousness as raiment, for they shall guard thee from wickedness, and fear thee not, for I am thy lord, and thus dearest to thee. Saw ye not that the moon hath shewn herself not just now? I say to thee, you know the craft of the enemy, they usurp not that which is natural and good, and thus the night of their devising is not night. So in it the moon taketh no part. But to dispel that evil cometh with the sun, therefore I name thee Luna. And thou shalt commandeth her, even as I doth the sun. I bid thee veil thy visage no longer, for the beauty of the moon hath naught but save by the majesty of the sun. Then Artemis beheld clearly the form of Speedwagon, though spirit he was, for Artemis was gifted of her psionic mind. And she regarded his splendor then with no more pain, and saw the man wizened but not senile. His lineaments were flawless and bathed in gold. Even the scar upon his countenance was not a wound, but of utmost sublimity. Then adulation swelled in her heart, and she quoth, Thou art my lord, and for all the puissance of my mind, I mayest conjureth up nary a word of praise that may befit thee, O Lord. But I offer to thee my eternal adoration, for the desire to dwell ever in thy light and covenant, O soul invictus. Then Speedwagon spoke, Verily, even as thou sayest, it shall be. For I, thy lord Speedwagon, shall granteth of thee great investiture, and thou shalt serve unto me, and dwell in my aegis for all time, for thou hast eternal life. I say to thee, thou wilt love me, and I shall love you, and the work is good. Thou shalt be my general, thou shalt be my supplicant, thou shalt be my confidant, and thou shalt be my primarch. In the fullness of time the fruits of my covenant with thee shall be good. Until that time cometh, thou shalt toil alongside me to make good this earth. O Jones Artemis Luna Lazy, I bless thee, and in turn thou shalt render succor unto the science of man. In due time I will shew this unto thee aright. For even as thou shalt livest for ever, there will be others who shall join thee in thy burden. Look at thee of the firmament in thy mind, and thou wilt espy stars brilliant of pitch, gold, white, and purple. With all cardinals thou art the splendid moon, bearer of my light. Gird thyself therefore, for the test is long, but fear thee not, for it shall be with thee ever. With saying this, Speedwagon did go from the sight of Artemis, and she did weep profusely, for she so craved the warmth of his aegis. But Artemis did thereafter taketh the words of Speedwagon her lord to heart, began to soweth in other man the seeds of her faith, for fruits to upon sup with her lord, when the reaping is right.